I recently experienced one of the most magical winter days of my life. It was all about the glow. And I have so much beautiful footage to share with you in my next vlog, but I wanted to share a little bit for this video because it's what inspired me to paint the glowing canyon. When I got back to the studio, I knew I had to paint something glowing and magical. And because I've been drawing a lot of rocks lately, I decided it would be really fun to try to paint some glowing canyon rocks. So a little update on my palette box. I've been using it for several months now, and I've had the same gouache in it for probably at least 4 months, maybe longer for some of the colors. And at times I'd go maybe like 3 weeks without opening it. And when I open it, it's still totally fresh, no mold, no weirdness. It's really wonderful because I go through like little bouts of painting with gouache only, and then I'll go to watercolor, and then I'll go to oil. So knowing that it's there whenever I want to pick up my gouache and paint makes things so much easier. And then when I do get into times where I just only want to use gouache, like right now, I can pick it up every day and just go. I can jump straight into my session and not worry about setting up my whole palette. So once again, I can highly recommend this method if you want to encourage yourself to use gouache more often. If you saw my recent videos about the day in the life and the evening in the life of an artist, or my recent live stream here on YouTube, then you know I've been drawing a lot of rocks and I'm just currently obsessed. And canyons are becoming one of my favorite things to paint because there's so many interesting colors and the lighting is just so fascinating to me in the desert. And the desert itself is something that I'm not super familiar with, even though I lived in Denver for about 10 years. I didn't venture out into the desert areas as much. I stayed in the forests and the mountains. But I did take a trip to Utah at one point and visited Arches National Park, which is really magical and also kind of otherworldly to me. But this particular rock formation is somewhere else in Utah that I've never been. But I have painted it in the past. Back in 2017, I was really into canyons and I was painting lots of different scenes from different areas with watercolor. And so I just had that memory of painting it and I wanted to try it out again, but with gouache and with my current understanding of light and color in the landscape. I think it's really fun to paint things that I've painted in the past to kind of see how much I've grown. In fact, my friend and I started a monthly challenge called Retry July, where every July we paint things from our past, and you can use the same medium that you used originally or change things up, it doesn't matter, but the whole point is just to kind of see how you've grown as an artist. Anyways, with this painting, I was definitely taking a lot of artistic liberty with the colors. Obviously, these aren't the colors you would see in real life, but as you may have seen in my previous video about creative colors, this is just something I love to do, and I always find it interesting because my brain automatically wants to use really weird, wild colors. I don't know where that ever came from, but I'm okay with it. I have a lot of fun with color. I think partially I'm just fascinated by the fact that I can use whatever colors I want and still make it look realistic. There's something really intriguing about that. It's almost like I have to put the puzzle pieces together in my mind, and Even though I'm using different colors, I still have to make it work, and in order to do that, I have to understand light in the landscape. So all of my time spent observing from life and looking at reference photos and all of that, I get to use that in these situations. So if you are interested in learning how to paint rock formations like this, especially with creative colors, I am currently working on a Skillshare class which is going to cover a few different types of scenes in full detail, and I'll be talking through all of my strategies and thoughts, especially about color. I think it'll be geared slightly more towards intermediate gouache painters. So if you've never used gouache before or you're an absolute beginner, I recommend starting with my other classes for absolute beginners, and then you can move up to something like this. But it's gonna be fun and I'm really excited. I've already recorded a few of the paintings and I can't wait to show you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. That really helps my channel out. And otherwise, I will see you next time.